The camera opens with silence. Not ordinary silence, but the kind that carries weight, pressing down on every heart that dares to enter the sacred ground. The sun is pale in the winter sky, its light soft, almost reverent, as it slides across rows of marble. The tomb of the unknown soldier stands in stark, solemn beauty, a symbol of sacrifice, honor, and memory. A lone figure stands guard. She is motionless, her posture perfect, her uniform immaculate. Every detail is crisp, the polished shoes, the gleaming buttons, the sharply pressed blue coat. Her hair is pinned tightly beneath her cap, her face set in an expression of calm discipline. Behind her dark sunglasses, her eyes scan the horizon, though no one can tell. She holds her rifle with a bayonet fixed, not as a threat, but as a promise. This place will be guarded with every fiber of her being. She is young. Younger than many expect. 24, though her stance carries decades of discipline. A sergeant, trained to perfection. For hours she has stood here, unmoving, her body aching, but her mind as sharp as the blade she carries. She is a sentinel, and to her, this is not a duty, it is an oath. And then, the silence breaks. 3 teenage boys stride into the courtyard, their laughter loud, jarring against the hallowed stillness. They wear matching red varsity jackets, symbols of youthful pride and arrogance. Their sneakers squeak against the stone, their voices cutting through the reverence like knives. "Look at this," one of them sneers, pointing at the guard. "They let a girl do this job now?" The other two burst into laughter, nudging each other, egging him on. Tourists in the background turn, frowning, whispers rising like a current of disapproval. But the boys are too wrapped up in their own bravado to notice. One leans in closer, tongue out, mocking her stillness. "What's the matter, soldier girl? Too scared to say something?" The crowd gasps. An elderly veteran in a wheelchair mutters a curse under his breath, his eyes welling with fury and sadness. Children cling to their parents, sensing the wrongness in the scene. The guard does not move. She does not flinch. And here's where I want you to lean in, because what you're about to witness isn't just a clash between arrogance and discipline, it's a moment that reveals the very core of what strength truly is. If stories like this stir something deep inside you, I invite you to subscribe to Soul Touch Stories. This is where we bring to life tales that remind us of honor, sacrifice, and the power of character. Back at the tomb, the boys grow bolder, mistaking her stillness for weakness. One steps so close he can almost touch her rifle. Another claps his hands in front of her face, hoping for a reaction. But behind her sunglasses, memories burn. She remembers the first time she was told she couldn't do it. Boot camp, where instructors barked at her that she wasn't strong enough, fast enough, tough enough. Where the men around her laughed when she dropped during push-ups, and where she stayed after lights out, forcing herself to keep going until her arms trembled and tears blurred her vision. She remembers the nights her bunkmate whispered, "Just quit. Nobody will blame you." But quitting wasn't an option. Not for her. Her father's words echoed in her heart even now. Strength isn't how loud you can shout, it's how long you can stand when everything in you wants to fall. So she had stood. Every day, every trial, every moment of doubt, she had stood. And now she stands again. The boys don't know this. They only see a silent figure in uniform, a girl they believe is powerless. They jeer louder, drawing nervous laughter from a couple of peers standing behind them. Their cruelty spreads like a stain across the sacred courtyard. And then, with a suddenness that makes every heart jolt, she moves. The sharp stomp of her boot echoes like a cannon blast against the marble. The rifle snaps into her hands, the bayonet gleaming in the sunlight. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Even the boys freeze, their laughter dying mid-breath. Her voice follows, clear, commanding, filled with a strength that comes not from anger but from authority. Respect. The tomb. Step back. The courtyard goes silent. Dead silent. The boys stare, stunned. They hadn't expected this. They thought their target was mute, bound by rules, powerless to respond. But in that single command, they hear the truth. This is not someone to be mocked. This is someone to be respected. One of the boys tries to laugh it off. "We were just kidding." But the words sound hollow, feeble. His friends are pale now, their bravado crumbling beneath the weight of her unflinching gaze. The tourists begin to murmur again, but this time it is not discomfort, it is awe. An older man, a veteran himself, salutes quietly, his eyes shining with pride. A mother clutches her daughter's hand, whispering, "That's what strength looks like." The boys shuffle backward, their faces flushed with shame. No one cheers their retreat. The crowd's silence speaks louder than any jeer. And then, softly, the clapping begins. Not loud. Not celebratory. But reverent. One by one, visitors join in, until the courtyard is filled with a gentle rhythm of respect. Yet the guard does not break her stance. She resumes her position, still and unyielding, as though nothing had happened. Because to her, this is not about applause. It is about honor. Later, when the boys are older, they will think back on that day. One of them, years later, will stand at his grandfather's funeral, the flag folded in solemn precision, and he will remember the guard's silence, her strength, her refusal to bow to disrespect. And in that moment, he will understand. The lesson is not about humiliation. It is not about revenge. It is about the power of restraint, the strength of dignity, and the way one person's discipline can teach more than 1,000 lectures ever could. That is why these stories matter. And if you want more stories that remind us of honor, of courage, and of the unshakable spirit within us, I ask you now, like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Soul Touch Stories. Together, we can keep these lessons alive. As the winter sun dipped lower, the marble tomb remained bathed in quiet light. The crowd dispersed slowly, each person carrying with them not just the memory of the moment, but the weight of its meaning. The boys walked away, their laughter gone, their steps slower, heavier. And the guard? She never flinched. She never wavered. Because her strength wasn't measured in noise, but in silence. And sometimes, the loudest voice in the world is the one that doesn't speak at all.